Hey, hey, rock stars! Welcome, welcome, welcome to Rockstar Status Graduation. Guys, I am so excited! It is time! Calling all graduates! Dun da da da! Alright, I'm pulling up my post where I shared all your beautiful work because I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I have all your names right in front of me. This is such a big event. Guys, I'm so excited. I see at least one graduate is on here with me. I see you, Sue. Ba, 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 da. Hey, Terry. Hey, Lori. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Winifred. Okay, almost there, guys. Ba, ba. All right. Are you guys excited? You can kind of see my balloons. I got you balloons. They're here, behind me. Okay. It's not loading. I'm sorry, guys. It's so anticlimactic when we're after a slow start. All right, who's here with me? Nicole, Sue, Terry, Nancy, Sandy, Kathy, Deborah, Katie, Lori, Winifred, Dana, Lou, Sue. I do, Sue. Hey, Terry. Hey, Joey, Francie, Joe. Hey, Sue Marie, Sandra, Winifred. Oh, thank you, Winifred. Oh, yes. I do have a friend here with me. Katie, you are exactly right. Hello, hello. All right, let me hit share real quick and get this over to Quilting Rockstars, and then I'll tell you about this little girl who's on my shoulder. I love that tentative question. Is there an animal on your shoulder? What animal? There's not an animal on my shoulder. Don't worry about it. Are you eating my hair, honey? That's so rude. Don't do that. Debbie! All right. Come here, hon. Yeah, come here. Get off. This, my darlings, is Cuddles. Say hi for your glamour shot, Cuddles. She belongs to my neighbor, and I am dragon sitting for the week. And as you can see, she likes shoulders. And bearded dragons are actually pretty social. Are you just going to climb my hair? Okay, that's cool. Bearded dragons are actually pretty social. They're very curious and all sorts of things. So I was reading about them. I'm that nerd that when I pet sit an animal I'm not super familiar with, that I like research them a little bit. And so, oh my gosh, it's snowing. No way. They do make great pets. So they really love to be in on the action. They prefer their like enclosure to be in a busy room. So they're like the opposite of fish, right? Like fish want to be left alone. You need to make sure they're kind of out of the main traffic because it stresses them out if people are walking by all the time. But like bearded dragons are like super interested in all the things. And so I have her for a week, and because her enclosure is in my sewing room while she's here, she doesn't get a whole lot of action, right? Because I don't want the cats to be able to get to her. So anytime I'm in here, I just am letting her hang out on my shoulder and apparently hide in my hair. That's what we're doing right now, is hiding in my hair. So yes, there's going to be a reptile on my shoulder. All right, are we ready? Are we ready for a drum roll? Welcome officially to the Winter 2019 Rockstar Status Graduation. Woohoo! 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 She's like, please stop yelling in my ear. She is. There are 20 amazing women who are graduating tonight. So these women, as you guys know, they joined Rockstar Status the very beginning of February. We got started right away after registration. They have been hard at work for 8 weeks. Over the course of the last 8 weeks, we have covered over 30 free motion quilting motifs. I don't even know how many hours they've spent at their machines. I know it's a lot. I know that for two reasons. One, I've asked a lot from them. One of the things I ask when you join Rockstar Status is that you're spending a couple of hours a week at your machine. And these ladies, their work is so gorgeous. I have no doubt that they've been spending much more than that. So y'all have put in the work. I could not be more proud of you. And guys, honestly, like, I'm proud of you and the work that you've done. And what I mean by the word proud in this context is I'm just so excited for you. Because I feel like so much of my job with Rockstar Status is simply to facilitate, to create a space where you're encouraged to practice, where you have peers who are also practicing, where you can share your work with each other. And on the one hand, yes, I've created videos that teach and guide, but on the other hand, I'm just trying to call out the magic that I know is already in you guys, right? That creative potential that we so often just have a hard time letting loose, right? Oh, Joanna. Trader Joe's. Just for the record, they were like $5 or $6, and I just stuck them in a jar with no water, and they're doing great. So these women have put in the work. We've covered over 30 motifs. We have had 7 Facebook Lives together, one of which got lost into the vortex of the Facebook crash, which was really too bad. And, oh, Denise, that's hilarious. Denise, I'm kind of obsessed with the way you approached the final challenge. So the final challenge or the final project is a whole cloth quilt of at least fat quarter size. I give an example of one that I did where I essentially kind of painted with thread, not like in the traditional thread painting sense, but used free motion quilting to create a line drawing, right? And some of these ladies did that. And some of these ladies did their own thing and they went very abstract. There was a lot of quilting of words, which I think is so cool. So much story in each of the pieces, which ladies, on the post that I put on the String and Story page, where most of you, it's you and your final project. Some of you, it's just your final project. Will you go in and in the comments of your photo, tell the story of your piece? Because I know some of those have really beautiful stories. I wasn't even going to begin to try to summarize them because they're not my story, they're your story. So if you have a story behind your piece or even just a thought process or creative process, will you please go put in the comment on your photo kind of the background of your piece, kind of your artist statement, if you will, except it can be as long as you want. I don't really care. You can write 1,000 words if you want. You could write 5. But I would love it if you would be willing to share that with the rest of the rock stars. So these ladies have put in the work. They have earned this moment. They have earned their pins. Dun, da, da, da. And rock stars, your pins will be coming your way next week. They're getting painted right now. And they will be coming to you, and you guys will join the ranks of our official graduated pinned quilting rock stars, which this pin signifies all the work that you've done and all that you've learned about free motion quilting, and that also makes you kind of resident experts on free motion quilting around here. This is currently the most exhaustive class that I offer. As we've been talking about in the group, there are some more classes I'm hoping to develop, but y'all have studied what I know best and have best to teach you at this point, and this is a huge accomplishment. So I hope all of you are extremely proud of the work that you've put in. I can't wait to see all the quilts that you quilt in the future. Many of you have already quilted several quilts as part of this process, and it's so exciting. So without further ado, may I present to you the, guys, I did this last time. I'm going to start crying. My gosh. May I present to you the Winter 2019 Rockstar Status graduates. Nicole Mather, Jennifer Bathurst, Sue Marie Minyard, Debbie Oswald, Debbie Pavon, Francie Jo Solgrove, Lauren Weaver, Winifred, is it Wong? Babe, I should have known this ahead of time. Rhoda Willett, Lori King, Deborah Gillette, Sue Rickman, Katie Von Dorser, Bonnie Lindsay, Denise Geis, Kelly Agner, Penny Tuba, Colette Hawkins, Cheryl Shue, Ruth Craig. Congratulations! I'm so proud of every last one of you. Yay! All right, so big cheers in the comments, guys. All the hearts. Show all the hearts, all the support. How does it feel? How does it feel? Okay, so as the congrats and the huzzahs are rolling in, if you are one of our graduates here tonight, I would love to know 2 things from you. 1, look at all those hearts. What was your favorite motif that we did together, or maybe just your favorite motif in general? And 2, what was your least favorite motif? Like, what motif will you never quilt again now that this class is over? I really did just ask that question. You are all rock stars, and I'm so proud of you. Can I add hearts to my own video? We're about to find out. I think maybe I can. That's really exciting. All right, my loves. Okay, so I want to know those two things. Your favorite motif and your least favorite motif. For those of you, while they're typing and answering my question, for those of you who are going, oh man, I want to do that. Don't worry, Rockstar Status will be relaunching in the fall. You can go ahead and fill out the interest form if you know those box things. Wait, Sue, I thought the filled swirls were your least favorite. Were the boxes really worse than the filled swirls? So, what was it I was saying? Oh, so there is an interest form up. If you go to strictandstory.com/classes, which there's a link in the caption of this video, you can go ahead and fill out that interest form just to let me know that you hope to join Rockstar Status in the fall. The current plan is for it to relaunch in September. I am amenable to relaunching sooner if there is a mass uprising demanding I do so. I basically want to make sure that I reopen it when y'all are excited and ready, and when there's going to be a good number of you who are ready. So, if someone just really has a bee in their bonnet that they want it sooner, feel free to start a petition. But otherwise, I'm planning on Rockstar Status reopening in September, and I would love to have all of the rest of y'all in there. Okay, Sue says, favorite was ginkgo leaves, least favorite, those box things. I'm going to guess like the square spirals maybe. Michelle, you love or Lauren, I just read your middle name, Lauren. How weird is that? Lauren, your favorite is swirls and feathers. You'll never do the enhanced continuous curves. You know, those are just kind of an exercise so that they're in your wheelhouse. I don't know that I use them a whole lot either, but they're good to have in your wheelhouse. Feathers, don't really like ribbon candy. Ribbon candy is a mind bender. I will 100% grant that. Deborah, like them all, but especially McTavishing. I love McTavishing. Guys, Karen McTavish responded on Instagram to the post that I tagged her in today, which made me super happy. Because she is a freaking right. You want to talk about rock stars? Karen McTavish. Favorite motif, ginkgo leaves, least favorite, filled swirls. Katie, that's exactly what I was wondering about. Okay, Sue has two least favorites. We had, so filled swirls are great unless they go terribly awry. And then they become wrinkled man parts. And I'm not explaining any further than that, other than that it's really unfortunate and we had a great laugh. Your favorite was ginkgo leaves, Bonnie, and feathers. Least favorite was the double ribbon candy. Fair enough, fair enough. It is, okay. Wang? Oh, babe. I still can't. Wang? My phonetics is terrible. I can't believe I messed that up, Winifred. I feel like I'm sorry. My friend Winifred. There we go. That's what you're just officially my friend Winifred. I can't know any other Winifreds ever. You love feathers, Francie Joe, but hated pebbles. I remember hating pebbles. You may come around about them. You may not. It's fine. Yes, dear. She really wants to be like way up in my hair. Love McTavishing and all the swirly things. Feathers, and more feathers. I know, Ruthen, your feathers are fabulous. Least favorite, graffiti quilting. Yep. Least favorite, filled swirl. The filled swirls were a struggle. That's, you know, it is what it is. Favorite motif is hooked swirls. That's really exciting, Denise. I still struggle with the hooked swirls. I've been practicing them because of that. Ginkgo leaves favorite. Continuous curves least favorite. Yep. Those hooked swirls are a doozy. I'm with you, Colette. But they're, you know, it's good to have a variation, right? I pull it out once in a while, and I'm glad that I know it, but it is what it is. Oh, Denise, I love that. I love doing it in a group. Swirls, least favorite hook swirls. That makes sense. Oh, I know. Aren't the ginkgo feathers fun? That was like such a happy accident when I figured that out. This like rippling river. That's funny, Lori. All the feathers. Least favorite filled swirls. I mean, Sue, you were in on that conversation. It was really unfortunate how some of those turned out. There we go. Winifred poo. There we go. I love graffiti quilting. I'm with you. Favorite ginkgo leaves. Didn't really like. Looks like a bug carcass. Rhoda, that's fantastic. I love it. You just gonna. Okay. Is that your plan for this evening? Okay. I'm just gonna have a tail coming off my shoulders. So, in final celebration, my dear rock stars, I drink to you. Cheers. Oh, here she comes. Hi, honey. Oh, maybe not. I know at least some of you had a special beverage handy. All right. Part of me just wants to be like, okay, we're done. Like, I can't top that. I'm just so proud and excited for all of you. Yeah. Denise, you blew my mind with your use of negative space, for the record. Like, you should do that larger and submit it to a show. Just, for the record, worm bodies. Denise, that's so accurate. Apple martini. Oh my gosh, look at all these great drinks you guys have. I love it. Yeah, I saw at least one picture of a special beverage. I'm so proud of you guys. Yay. All right. I don't even know how to transition. How are you guys? I feel the need to just sit here and chat for a second because how do I even transition after that? Y'all have blown me away. It was so fun having all of you. I love this class. I love this class so much. So Aurelia, the Rockstar Status class, the videos are hosted on Thinkific just like my other classes, but there's a special Facebook group for Rockstar Status that's only Rockstar Status enrollees and graduates, which the fun part about that is that all of these folks who've now graduated will, kind of get to mentor the ranks that come up behind them, if you will. So there's a separate Facebook group, and we do separate Facebook Lives each week where we're specifically talking about the motifs that we're doing that week, any questions that have come up, kind of additional guidance, Q&A, diving deep into the free motion quilting. And that's also a group where these guys have built their portfolio. So inside that Facebook group, each of these graduates created a Facebook album, a photo album, and had to share images of every single motif that we covered to share their work with the group. And then we got to give each other encouragement and cheer for one another. And there's, because the content comes out week by week. And so there's very much an encouragement to stay like on pace with the class and to be working alongside each other. So there's more of a community aspect to this class than my other classes. The other classes, there's the Quilting Rockstars group where we can all hang out, which I knew I should have linked to that in the caption of this video, and I totally forgot. But there's just kind of this additional community aspect to it that sets it apart. Joe, I'm so excited for you to be in that class. It's going to be amazing. Well, the good news, Bonnie, is that the Facebook group's not going away, which you have Lydia and Lisa and Anne and a couple others to thank for that, because that group was supposed to end after the last cohort, and they petitioned me. This is what I'm saying. Start petitions if you want me to do stuff differently. They petitioned me to leave the group up as kind of a separate little stomping ground for those kind of complicated free motion quilting questions. So, Clink, you have your wine. I love it, Rhoda. Katie, you can totally do anything. I mean, like, if you make it through this class, you can quilt freaking anything. And it's not necessarily because you know everything, but it's because you now know how to learn everything, right? You've got a strong base with lots of motifs, and more importantly, literally the most important thing I can teach you, encourage you to do, guide you, facilitate, because that's really what it is. In Rockstar Status is to practice. Like, that's the most important lesson of this class. Denise, I can't wait. I want to see all of it. I have to my brain needs to figure out that technique because it was just amazing. Not being able to do a circle to feathers. I love it, Francie Joe. I love it. You bound your lanterns of hope. I think you're right, Denise. There's lots of shapes to use. I actually have this great new hexagon ruler that would be really fun to use to create shapes. So Cheryl, the boys, she'll sit on their shoulders. They get a little bit more spooked about her because, you know, she's got, like, her nails are on me and it doesn't, like, hurt, but I'm aware that she's there, right? And so they pet her and she can sit on their shoulder. She's super chill. Like, she really is not put off by them in the slightest. And she's only here for a week, right? So she's getting a brief inundation of toddlerhood. And then she will, they're not really toddlers anymore, young kids. Her children, by that I mean the children who own her, are I think 7 and 9 now, so they're a little bit older. So Aurelia, the videos of the motifs go up on Thinkific, so you can watch them anytime. And the Facebook Lives, I try to move the time around So sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon, sometimes it's in the evening. So that over the course of the class, hopefully you can catch at least several of them live. And the rest, of course, are available on replay. I just might, Tina. Though I don't know. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a smartphone to take the class. You just have to have a way to take digital photos. Which, like, what you could do with that if you wanted to is you could wait and have one of your kids take all your photos at once at the end. You know, it's possible. I love that as well, Denise. I think that's the other really fun thing about doing it as a group is free motion quilting is like handwriting, that everyone does it a little bit differently. And so that means that even the same motif done across 20 people gets a lot of variation, and that can be really, really inspiring. That's amazing, Nicole. I'm so glad you were able to as well. It's on your want list. I love it, Aurelia. Keep going. Put it on that, like, stuff you're going to use to celebrate as you make progress, right? Or as you finish your debt snowball. You know I'm pro debt snowball. Yay, Jan! Yes, sit down and try. I love it, Denise. Okay, big shapes first. Bought a ruler foot and one ruler. That's so exciting, Deborah. Some grid marking. Yes, your classes stay up forever, Sue. And so if I update the videos or add anything, you'll get all those updates. Yep. Which that's on my list, starting with intro, but to eventually go through all the classes and refilm everything on the Juki, which would be great fun. Yeah, probably so, Tina. I mean, I'm like never without, I'm never without my phone. It's really kind of embarrassing. A friend of mine had her phone stolen recently, and I was like, you put your phone down long enough that someone could steal it? Like, I'm sorry, what? Yes, exactly, Ruth. A 3-footed bearded dragon named Ahab. That's magnificent, Dataloo. Which, guys, I just realized I need to come around and plug you in. I didn't plug my phone. I put the cord up here and didn't actually plug you in. Here, I'll give you a closer look at Cuddles, too. Ooh, sorry, guys. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here. Yeah, get out of my hair. Yeah. I know. Here she is. You say hi? Yeah, look at the camera. Yeah. So this is Cuddles. You can see her body's about the length of my hand, and then her tail goes like down my forearm. She's not super thrilled with this situation right now. Come on. Come on. Get on me. There you go. Okay. So she's just going to hang out. Okay, I think I'm going to attempt to transition myself to free motion quilting. I'm still working on Dogwood Blossoms, guys. So this week, good news. Oh, guys, I can't believe I didn't tell you this right away because we were here to celebrate. But another thing we need to celebrate, dun, da, 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 John bought a car tonight. I'm so excited. God has been so good. And so he has earned all the money. The paychecks are coming. And so he made his deposit tonight. On his new Nissan Leaf. Well, new to him. It's not new, but new to him. And he will pick it up in a week when he can pay the balance. So they're holding it until the balance. So we're not going to be driving around a car that we haven't finished paying for yet. So yeah, a week later, he has purchased the next car and he'll pick it up a week from now. So it'll be 2 weeks from accident to final car. So he's driving a rental until Tuesday. Y'all, bless the poor, sweet car rental people. They sent my hubster home in a black Dodge Challenger. Which is just killing me. Like, it is the funniest thing in the world to me. Like, I think it's absolutely hilarious. Because we love the show Burn Notice. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Burn Notice. Which is a Dodge Charger in the show. It's not a Challenger. But this one looks just like the Charger from Burn Notice. So he's living all of his Miami Michael Weston dreams this week. And then he will, Penny! You'll have to go back and watch our graduation celebration, darling. But I want to know your favorite motif and your least favorite motif from the class. So he'll have that till Tuesday, and then he'll drive my car Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is fine because I don't need to go anywhere. And then he'll pick up his car next Saturday, which is super exciting. So God is good. God is good. Uh-oh, am I still out of focus, Ruth, or did it come back in? I wonder if I threw it off when I got up and shoved Cuddles in front of the screen. Wasn't it so good, Terry? We've rewatched it like 3 times. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with Michael and Fiona. The hip bag that Fiona wears throughout the show, like, I have that hip bag. Yeah. Because, like, all I really wanted to be when I was in college was to be Fiona. Let's be honest. Still out of focus, Ruth, for you? Oh, no. Everyone else, I don't know, babe. Try hitting refresh. Or log back out and or log out and log back in, maybe? Try that. Excellent. Excellent. So, yeah. God is good. New car is a-coming. Yes, Bonnie, do please be safe and all that lightning. I feel like you've been having a lot of lightning, babe. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Here comes the hum of my beautiful machine. Hey, Ramona. That's amazing, Jan. That's wonderful to hear. That's exciting. They're going to be at Paducah. I actually will be down at their store tomorrow, guys. I'm going to long arm training with them. I don't really know what that means other than I'm excited because it means I get to hang out in the dealership and like quilt all morning. Don't fall off. That would be bad. Okay. Mwah. So I'm going to long arm training tomorrow and just getting to know them better, getting to know the machines better. I need to pick up some more needles for this beauty. I need some ballpoint needles. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Hey, Anita. Yeah, Tina, I recommend the Juki Envy. Now, remember, you don't necessarily have to go all the way to the J150. There's the, is it the 2010, 2020? It's like it's the mini that everybody loves so much. And then there's the Haruka that I also really love. Not super well, Dana Lou, unfortunately, at the moment. We're gonna have a wide angle because I'm gonna quilt, and that way you guys can see all the things as I'm quilting. I'll have to hold it up for detail shots partway through, but where was I? I ran out of bobbin thread on here somewhere. Here it is. Making sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, Jan, I'm really excited about that. I hope that you're able to go and try out the machine. I mean, if not, you might just have to come to Atlanta. Just saying. I know that's probably not super close for you either, but I'm here for what that's worth. That would be fun, right? Alrighty. I'm excited, Rhoda. Oh, Lydia, I should check out your quilt picture. Okay, Lydia's working. Is this the quilt, Lydia? The quilt about which we have been speaking? I'm being so cryptic, and it's really not super necessary to be cryptic. No, oh my gosh. That's amazing, Lydia. Have you tagged Bonnie in that? Make sure you put that up and tag Bonnie, because that's freaking amazing. Also, that your On Ringo Lake is done is freaking amazing, because mine is not. Need to work on that. So, you know, just keep on driving down, Jan. Just keep on driving down. Oh no, Bonnie. Bye, dear. The deer interrupted your photo shoot. That is amazing. Freaking amazing. Yeah, Tina, I will, you know, I'm happy to enable. I can talk you out of it if you need me to, but I am thrilled to enable. If you're open to being enabled, which it sounds like you are. It sounds like you are quite delighted to be enabled. I don't even remember what I was doing in this section, guys. I'm gonna have to remember that, aren't I? In order to finish quilting it. I think I was using my ruler. That's what it looks like I was doing. I mean, I'm pretty enamored with this machine, not gonna lie. So, oh, so the Dodge Challenger that Hubster is currently driving, I told him, I was like, so for the record, like date night this week will be us going to downtown Duluth to take photos of quilts like on that car. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. So if you see pictures of my quilts on the Dodge Challenger later this weekend, I just think it's too funny. Like, why would I pass up the opportunity to post quilts on the Challenger, right? 12 inches, babe. 12 inches. It's freaking gorgeous. Yes, make sure you tag her on Instagram, Lydia, because she will love that. So freaking cool. So one of the things I'm hoping to find out tomorrow is how I set my needle to stop in the down position when I'm doing free motion quilting. That's one of my goals for tomorrow. Also, I don't know how much I love this. Yes, dear. You could climb up further instead of just scrabbling all over my shoulder, you know. See, exactly. That's legit what we're doing, Terry. Like, I'll probably wear my hip bag. I will not drink a mojito. John might drink a mojito. I don't like mojitos. Which is fine, because mojitos were not Fiona's drink anyway. They weren't really they were really Sam's drink, but, you know, it's burn notice, so we just associate the mojito. But yes, we're basically gonna go act like we're Michael and Fiona. It's pretty much what's gonna happen. Without firearms. We don't do firearms. I'm really, Terry, I'm so glad you'll understand this reference. Otherwise, I would just feel like a crazy person. Thinking the inheritance. Oh, that would be very exciting, Tina. That would be very, very exciting. And that's, I feel like that's exactly what should happen with an inheritance, is you should purchase something that would make the bequeather happy. I still have so much to learn about this ruler work stuff, guys. So much. But I figure the first step is just to get used to handling a ruler, which I've got this, no, I have this right this time. Like, I need to make sure the glove is not on the hand that's handling the ruler, because then it's, like, pointless. But this is definitely where I'm seeing the benefit of this giant throat space. She's fine. I promise. She's fine. No, don't worry. I'm thinking about that. Because yes, we want her to be very, very safe. I'm actually really glad she turned around and decided to face my back. So that means if she were to like jump, she would jump away from the machine. Oh yes, I was wondering, Lydia, if that was, okay, Lydia and I are acting like this is a big secret. It's not a big secret. Lydia's making a different version of Perfect Fit. Because it's a pattern that I need to return to, and I would like to reignite some excitement in all of us about, because I think it's a super fun pattern. But I've only made one version, and so she's going to make a new version and spice it up a bit. And then I need to make a new version as well, but I don't know exactly when I'm going to get around to that. So Lydia's going to get us all excited about Perfect Fit, and that's what we're talking about. She just looks like a giant brooch. There you go. It's kind of, you know, like Neville Longbottom's grandmother who has the stuffed vulture like on her hat. I just have a dragon. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal, right? Oh, and one of you asked when I'm getting a bearded dragon. Hubster has been very, very clear that there will be no bearded dragon acquirement in this house, which honestly I'm fine with because her poop stinks. And there are only 2 places in this house that we could have a bearded dragon, and that's in here or in John's office. And there's not really a place in either room to put a pet. We already have a fish tank that needs some improvements, like we need to upgrade the tank and whatnot and restock it. And yeah, we don't need to add, if we add more critters to this house, it will be dogs, not lizards. Sorry, Cuddles, you're great. So I'm enjoying pet sitting her, but it will, there is not a Cuddles in our future. This is one of those things, guys, where I'm doing an experiment and I think it's probably going to look stupid. Remember how we talked about that last week, that sometimes you try stuff and it looks stupid? This is one of those things. Yes, Lauren. Yes, Lauren. She could, Sue. She could if she got startled or something. You almost... Lydia, you've made lots of Lanterns of Hope. Guys, don't tell Lydia, but the reason I asked her to make Perfect Fit is because she needed a new pattern to fixate on. Just kidding, babe. I'm just kidding. But part of it is I know that if anyone can get all of us fired up about Perfect Fit, it's Lydia. Because she has great visions for patterns. And Lauren, I'm super pumped that you two apparently are enabling each other to represent Team Purple for Lanterns of Hope. I am in favor. I was like, what's going on? She's like, got her foot in my armpit. I was like, what's in my armpit? You've already gone through your stash. I love it, babe. Yes, Cuddles is an incredibly funny name for a dragon. One of my friend Melissa's kids named her. That's all the explanation I have. Yeah, Lanterns of Hope is her ongoing jam. I'm in favor of it being your ongoing jam, Lydia. Not gonna lie. But Cuddles was like, I guess about this big when they got her. Like she was a lot littler. Oh gosh, she was a lot smaller. I can speak English, I promise. Then again, I'm a native speaker of English, so I can speak it however I want, and it's fine linguistically. But yeah. I would not have named, I probably would have named her like Norbert or Norberta because Harry Potter. Because that's what you do, right? Like, we got from babysitter spring break, your grandson's new big sister and brother. Oh, how fun. You finished piecing Elliot Terry. That's so exciting, Rhoda. I love it, I love it. And I'm very excited. I've got a few tops to long arm that are going to be coming my way from some of y'all. And I am still open for more if anybody is interested. If you've got something that's just too big for your domestic, or if you have not dove into free motion quilting yet and you're not ready to take the plunge, or if there's just something you want some crazy quilting on, I am here and I am available. And I'll probably pick up super fun new tips tomorrow, which I'm so excited about, guys. I'm so excited. We like needed to have a meeting and they're like, well, we're having training tomorrow. I'm like, I'm there. So there. That sounds so much fun. Oh my gosh, now y'all are collaborating on Purple Lanterns of Hope. I can't even handle the two of you. I can't even handle it. You have one named Redbeard. That's so great. 2 big dogs and 4 cats live there, as well as 6 kids. Y'all have a full house, my darling. You have a full house. You remind me of that next time I'm complaining about my 2 kids, which I was definitely doing this evening because I had 2 very overtired children at the park this evening while Hubster was getting his car. You're fine, babes. Calm down. Yeah. I just like can't handle like how chill she is. Like, I don't know. I just like. Oh, that's awesome, Tina. I'm glad it's interesting. I'm still like figuring it out. This is what artist Austin Kleon would call practicing in public. Which is like, I'm learning a new skill while y'all are watching me do it. So I've only done a little bit. Hang on, babe. We're dropping scissors. I've only done a little bit. But, you know, the only way to learn is to keep practicing. And since we're all family here, I practice in front of y'all and with y'all, and that's how we do the things, right? Sorry guys, I'm having trouble getting my bobbin thread up because I've got a little bit of a knot from, I'm not really sure what, honestly. Okay. Pie pans don't count. Pie pans are like a whole nother issue. Well, and ruler work on the long arm, I've been doing that a little bit more, so I feel a lot more comfortable with that. But this is like this last week is like the first time I've done any kind of ruler work on a domestic, because my singer just wasn't big enough. Like, you just couldn't get a ruler through that throat space. Hang on, my loves. I need a light to bury my threads. Oh, my light's not plugged in. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm just unclipping things. Come on, little light. Yeah. And then I'm talking to inanimate objects. Okay. That'll do for now. I can secure her better later. Cuddles is like, dude, I'm going in your hair again. Oh, she's going around to the other side. Oh, you're just going to hang out back there? Okay. Have you used the Robert Flynn quilting? No, I haven't, Londa. Tell me about it. That sounds fascinating. Oh no, Katie. Oh my gosh, yes. We will definitely be praying. Oh my heavens. Please keep us posted, babe. Oh, please keep us posted. That's so sad, but thank you for sharing with us. You know I love it when you guys share stuff, even if it's hard. I would rather know the hard stuff, because that's what I want for this community, is for us to do life, right? And that's life, and that's heartbreaking. Oh my gosh, please keep us posted. Yes, Joe, somebody sent me a link. And I'm sorry, dear Rockstar, who sent me the link, that your name is escaping me at the moment, but I did see a link. But if you have another resource, Joe, I'd be happy to hear it. I should probably email them to myself so that I can search my email if I get that question again in the future. I was talking to a sweet lady on Instagram, and she was like, but I'm in Australia. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, wait, I have people. Oh, it's a quilting frame. Fascinating, Londa. Exactly, Tina. Hence the need for the giant throat. So Katie, when was she in this accident? Was that like this weekend or this week? Or has it been a little while? It sounds like it's super, super recent. And it's always, you know, and isn't that the way of real life, though? That the beautiful and the challenging and sometimes heartbreaking, they exist side by side. I think that's part of the that's one of the most interesting things about this human experience, right? Like this life we all lead, is that beauty and tragedy come right next to each other. And it's so hard. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this needle threaded so I can scroll back up in the comments. But it's being a bugger. Okay. Accident was this afternoon. Oh no. They were lifted to a big hospital. Oh, Katie, that's so terrible. The focus on the camera is really off? Okay, I'll get up and tap it in a second. Let me get this. It's good there. Okay, I'll tap like over my shoulder, so hopefully it'll help refocus the camera. Let's see. Sorry, y'all, you have to like see my finger pop into the... Okay. Hopefully that'll help if anybody's having focus issues. Alright, now I gotta figure out what else I'm doing. Oh, it looks like I'm... Oh, Ruth, good, it cleared up for you. Sorry, y'all, you just got my fingers, like, right in the... Okay. Well, hit refresh if you're having focus issues, because that seems to be a bit of a problem at the moment. Oh, now I gotta rethread this. Cuddles is just gonna thoroughly hide on my back now. She's like, no thank you. Brother was in the passenger seat and he's okay. Oh, that is... Oh, Katie, this is such a hard situation. Such a hard situation. And just so, like... Just that it could have been so easily prevented by obeying the stop sign. You know? That's just so difficult. That will be tied to my internet, so I can't check it at the moment. I don't see an HD option from here at the moment. Well, keep us posted, Katie, because whoo, yeah. We want this sweet lady to be A-okay. Oh, of course, Katie. Of course. We share all the things here. That's how we roll. This is a full life community. You know what I mean? It's what it's here for. Speaking of full life, I'm going to pivot us, if I may. Who had birthdays this week? Oh, this sweet little flower petal did not turn out the way that I was hoping it would. Oh, well. It's all an experiment. It's all an experiment. It's all an experiment. I'm just going to keep repeating that to myself over and over again, even when I quilt stuff and it doesn't look how I want it to look. So here's, while you guys are letting me know, if you have, oh, gotcha, Linda. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I see. Yours was Sunday, Deborah. So for those of you, who are watching this ruler work thing, the thing that I'm finding the hardest is maintaining my posture. Because it takes muscles to move the ruler, which is a little bit different than the muscles like normal free motion quilting takes. And so I'm finding my shoulders are doing some funky things. Any other birthdays? Again, it'll be a pair. Exactly. That's legit what I'm doing, is I'm just continuing on with the design and it's gonna be what it'll be. It could have been worse. This is not my prettiest flower on this quilt, but you know, that's okay. All right, Deborah was our birthday this week, and maybe some others, but Deborah is the one who is here with us, so let's sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You recently graduated Rockstar, Deborah, and anybody else whose birthdays were this week, but you're not here. Happy birthday to you. Huzzah! I have to remember there's a dragon behind me and I don't want to lean back and squish her. All right, where'd I put my seam ripper? There it is. The dragon is keeping me aware of my back. That's actually pretty true. She's like, I'm back here. You need to pay attention to how you're holding this. So, Deborah, did you do anything special for your birthday, babe? I mean, you graduated as a quilting rock star, so there's that. But any other big celebrations? That's it, Denise. All the echoes. Hi, honey. I mean, I know I'm biased, Susan, but I agree with you. I think that's a pretty great birthday scenario there, right? Went out to lunch with your boys and your grandchild and your mom. I love that. That's really fun. That's a lot of generations. That's really fun. All right, I'm going to bring this over. This is such a funny quilt because there's like some of my best quilting on it, also some of my weirdest quilting. The diffuser, wild orange and lavender. Thank you for asking, Lauren. So the lavender is from last night. I put lavender on to help Cuddle settle in since she was new around town. So here's what I was working on that I was like, meh. And the reason is that, you know, of course, this distance is longer than this distance, and so it turns out funny. But that's what I was doing there. And then these I did like little crisscrossed, I was going to show you on the back, but you can't see it on the back. So you can kind of see it there. So, you know, clearly I have some things to learn about ruler work. We're probably all relieved, right? Because since I started this week, it's a good thing to still have things to learn about ruler work. So Lavender I put in last night, because so she gets a nightly bath. So when we're done, she will get her nightly bath. And, you know, of course the boys were around, and she was kind of, I could just tell she was like very stimulated, not like anxious, but very stimulated. New environment, loud children, etc. So I was like, well, I like looked up essential oils and bearded dragons, because, you know, I'm going to be wise in how I'm using this, especially because she's small, right? Like little critters, you got to be careful about diffusing around them to make sure that they have, you know, their body has time to metabolize the oils. That's what's going on. So just like anything, you have to, this is why, you know, if you drink too much alcohol, the problem is that your body cannot metabolize it fast enough, and then you get drunk, right? It's the same kind of thing with oils, and this, not that like you're going to get drunk, but in the sense of like your body has to have time to process the oil. So we as humans are big enough that simply diffusing and breathing, we're not going to have any issues. But a little guy like a dragon, you know, I want to be mindful of her. So I looked up oils, and apparently dragons and oils definitely get along. So lavender was one of the big ones they recommended. So I diffused some lavender for her last night, just for like an hour or so to help her settle. And she literally like curled up hugging her little tree with her chin like at the very top, and like crashed, and it was the cutest thing. And she slept all night. She's a very good girl. And which, like, I don't know if I would have even known if she didn't, let's be honest. It's not like she has a whole lot of sounds other than scratching around. But then I added a little bit of wild orange this morning because she pooed this morning and it smelled. So I cleaned it up, but lingering gifts. Oh, I'm glad you like it. So, see, and there's another thing, something that I look at and it's not my favorite. One of y'all might look at and go, oh, I really like that. So this is another reason for me to be experimenting. I love that. Little astro flower. Exactly. Exactly. I love wild orange too. I try to be human, Terry. What else am I going to do? Yes, the Juki does make a constant noise. Kind of like a computer. It has a fan on the motor. So the fan is always running when the machine is plugged in. So what that means is that, like, my other machines, if I need to like step away for 20 or 30 minutes, I will sometimes just leave it plugged in and running, or like leave it on and running. And I can't do that with the Juki. That's not real good for it, because that, you know, then of course the fan is still going and whatnot. So it does make a constant hum. I find it rather soothing on the whole, but I do have to, you know, be mindful of that I don't turn it on and sew and then get distracted and leave it on. All right. We're going to do some free motion. How many sections do I have left on this? I've got that flower left. I still have the petals on that one. I'm getting close on this, guys. Getting real close. I'm getting real antsy to get it done. Truth be told. It is overdue. But, oh, I started to tell you this right at the beginning, and I think I got distracted talking about the charger in John's car. But it's been a hard week to get stuff done, guys. I think we just had so much happen last week. Oh, and Ian dropped a brick on his toe. It's really bruised. It's not broken. I'm pleased to report. We had our chiropractor take a good look at it, and he felt confident that it is just really terrible bruising. But it's just kind of been one thing after another for the last week. So I feel like I didn't get a whole lot done this week. And one of the things I really wanted to get done was this quilt. So here we are, right? I'm just doing some paisleys. I will admit that at this point in the process, my creativity for new motifs is waning. Hey, Christine! More snow, Loretta? What? How? How is there more snow? I feel like, I mean, it was 80 degrees today. I mean, like, I'm in a tank top. Y'all can see that. You poor dear Midwesterners and all of your frozen precipitation and other flooding and all the... Guys, I'm so sorry. Too much. It is too much. I'm thinking. That's what that humming is. I think I'm gonna do some feathers. Little posture check there, guys, if you missed that. I always feel, whenever I, like, comment on my posture while I'm, like, quilting, I feel like one of those commentators, you know, for, like, Olympic gymnastics, you know. Little balance check. The judges will take off 0.3 of a point for that. Like, that's what I feel like every time. Like, I'm just, like, commenting on my own little gymnastics meet over here. Don't mind me. Oh, guys, that moment when you realize just 1 second too late that there was a thread that just got trapped under your quilting. Dang. Oh, well. Whoa, I missed a lot of weather. Hang on. No, well, I did miss a lot of weather. I don't like that sitting over there. I can't see it enough. More snow. Quilt show done. Rockstar graduation tonight. Sunday's the first day of spring retreat. Woohoo! That's exciting, Denise. Oh, that's a great question, Ruth. 71 on Wednesday. Still in 20 to 40 degree, Ruth. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am. The original plan was that I would just be doing graffiti in the orange background. And by graffiti, I mean, like, I'm doing, like, I'm just playing, right? So I'm just messing around with all kinds of different things. But I'm also kind of doing all the flowers different now because I'm playing around with the ruler. So this quilt is very much a hodgepodge. You know, so some of it, like, I've got a couple of feathers that look really, really good, and then I've got a few things that look really derpy. And it's just a quilt that this has been my practice quilt for the last year. So you know how we have practice swatches? This has been, like, I have my practice swatches for things like checking my tension or if I'm trying a brand new motif for the first time. But this quilt has been the, like, quilt that I pull out when I want to see how it feels to do a motif on an actual quilt before I quilt it on an actual quilt, if that makes sense. So it's been like a practice quilt for like a year as a result. But now I've hit this point where I'm like ready for it to be done because it's been in my sewing room for so long. And I'd kind of like to snuggle under it, frankly, because this quilt matches the quilt that I've made for our room better than my current the Dogwood Blossoms is the quilt that I like sit under every single day. Like it's like my blankie, right? But this one matches the quilt that I finished for our bed better. And so I want this one to be done, and then I want to finish that one, and our room will be a little bit more cohesive. Anyway, I agree. Once it goes over 60, no snow. I agree. Ooh, favorite piecing shortcut. The pollen is so bad, Lisa. I like can't breathe. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay, so how did I get started free motion quilting? So I first started quilting. I actually got a sewing machine from a friend of mine who does garments because I wanted to sew garments. I was pregnant with Jim and following lots of kind of crunchy homesteading lifestyle mamas on Instagram and thought I wanted that. Spoiler, I don't. I don't want responsibility for too many more living things in my life. It's what I'm coming to terms with. Especially not like a homestead's worth. And so I got a sewing machine from a friend, a little tiny Kenmore, thinking I would sew like clothing and household items. But then my mom wanted a t-shirt quilt. And I did not know anything about t-shirt quilts at all whatsoever. I didn't really know how to run the sewing machine, let's be honest. It had been not quite 20 years, probably 15 years since I've touched a sewing machine at that point. I'd been very young the last time I touched one. Ooh, excuse me. And so I did what I do because I'm a bit of a nerd. And I went to the library and checked out all the books on quilting because I didn't really understand that a t-shirt quilt is kind of a totally different animal from an actual quilt. And the author that the library happened to have a lot of was Angela Walters. They had 3 or 4 of her free motion quilting books, her early books. And so that was kind of what I was exposed to, was the idea of free motion quilting, and tried very early on to do it on my little tiny Kenmore, and it needed servicing more than anything else. And I just needed to know what the heck I was doing. Like, that would have been useful. Minimal success. I've got a little bit of that quilting preserved on a quilt that hangs in here. But I very quickly realized that wasn't going to work on a t-shirt quilt. Ooh, excuse me. Especially, because the throat space on that thing was like the size of a postage stamp. Like when I got my Quantum Stylus, with its 5.5-inch throat space, I thought I was really living the high life. Like, that felt really big. And so it was kind of planted in my mind that you could do free motion quilting, but I didn't really understand how. I began to get a concept that Angela mainly worked on a long arm at the time, but didn't really know what that meant. And so I started following all these free motion quilters on social media and figured out how to make like really basic rag style t-shirt quilts and was doing that. And then in 2017, I went to my first quilt con in Savannah. I got to go for 24 hours because I was still technically nursing Ian a little bit. That trip just about weaned him, which was good because he was starting to bite, which I was not in favor of. And he was like right at a year, 11 months, 11 and a half months. Anyway, it was a good time for both of us. It just worked. Hi, honey. Oh gosh, she's tickling my neck. And so I came back from QuiltCon. That was the year that Angela was the special exhibit, just with a bee in my bonnet that I was gonna learn, like come hell or high water. So she'd had a book come out recently, and some friends and I decided to band together. We called it a blog hop, but it really was, we were just working through the book together. And this was this way back then was the premise of Rockstar Status. I use the same premise when I teach you guys in that class, that I committed, and we did it for 10 weeks. 10 weeks of, was there a new motif there's probably a new motif every week. But it was 10 weeks of working through this book. excuse me, and quilting the motifs from the book each week. Could be on practice sandwiches, could be on quilts, could be on whatever. And we had to blog about our practice that week. So there was this accountability factor that all four of us were writing a blog every week about what we had learned. And I made a commitment at the beginning that I would quilt, not just do the motif and then write about it, because I knew myself. And if that blog, it was supposed to come out on Monday, we were doing machine quilting Monday. And I knew myself, and I knew that I would jump in front of the machine for 10 minutes on Sunday night and call that good and write a blog about it. And it would be a load of BS, frankly. Like, that's what it would have been, because I would not have really learned anything. And so I made a commitment on my blog at the beginning that I would quilt. And this is all still on my blog. If you go back far enough in the archives, what did we call it? I don't remember what we called it. Anyway, it's all still back on my blog if you want to go back and see it. And you'll see my baby beginner free motion quilting. And I committed to quilt 4 times a week for at least 15 minutes. And what that really turned into, because I was working primarily on quilts, is that turned into more like 4, 5, 6 hours a week of free motion quilting over 10 weeks. And if you do that for 10 weeks, you can quilt, is what I learned. And so then just started quilting everything in sight. And it was the very end of 2018. Let's see, was that 2017? That was 2017. So it was almost 2 years later, the intro to free motion quilting. Is that right? No. Intro to free motion quilting came out December 2017. So later that year was when intro came out. Because what I had learned from that is, like, the biggest barrier to learning free motion quilting was simply practicing and having, like, community and accountability around practicing. And so that's what I've, like, founded my classes on and founded this community on, right? Is, like, that we have each other to turn to for encouragement and support and whatnot. And now with Rockstar status, it's just taking that to the next level and making it, you know, very specific, focus on very specific things for a short period of time. Just like I learned to free motion quilt. So it all was, like, right here in this room. I had done free motion quilting, like, maybe twice before that, just, like, goofing around, didn't really know what I was doing. But that's where the difference was made, was when I made a commitment and stuck with it over a period of time and had my own little kind of Rockstar experience of thinking, like, will I be able to do this, to, like, oh, I can quilt anything I want to quilt. It just takes practice. That's literally the secret. Oh, that's nice, Jenny. Your Kenmore's throat space must be a bit bigger than mine was. The yawning, it's true. That's exactly what it is too. It's a long week, plus I'm drinking a very dark beer. It's very dark, and it's making me sleepy. Nicole, hang on. What are y'all talking about? Doug Lico's simple folded triangles ruler. Oh, that sounds very interesting. Okay, so Nicole, favorite piecing tip. This is so simple. This is so simple, y'all are gonna laugh, but this legit is the truth. Chain piecing. I know, especially if we're quilting something scrappy, and I fall into this as well, that the temptation, hang on, I gotta decide what I'm quilting. I'm gonna do some McTavishing. The temptation, woo, that was not pretty. The temptation is to do, like, one block at a time so we can see them go up on the design wall. But legit, I piece things. This is I hate this seam. Sorry, guys. I just need to have a moment. But if I can overcome that urge and force myself to chain piece, things come together so much faster. Also, guys, this machine, so fast. I was totally amazed at how quickly Lanterns of Hope came together. And it really did have to do with the machine. check my posture. Sorry guys, I glanced up in panic because it looked like the phone had gone black for a second and I was like, no! But y'all are still here. It's all good. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. We called it cookies, and I was like, yeah, biting kids don't get cookies. Learning to dig under. Yeah, you know, both of mine. So Jim self-weaned at 11 months. And Ian, it was, you know, kind of half self-weaning because of the biting and half not, right? Like, that was kind of a mutual, like, and we're done with this. And there's a part of me that really wanted to nurse both longer. And there's a part of me that feels like it was just right. You know, and mostly I'm just really thankful that I was able to exclusively nurse them. And that was particularly incredible because both of them had tongue and lip ties. Both ties, both kids, and both have really high palates. So we had a lot of challenge, especially with Jim, because we didn't know what was going on. Had a lot of trouble at first. But it was a good season. And then good seasons come to a close, you know? Oh yeah, I basically force everything into chain piecing. I'm with you on that, Lauren. It does not have a stitch regulator, Jan. But I find the stitching to be really beautiful even without a regulator. With the exception of where I bumped off that giant seam. That wasn't so beautiful. But the rest of it, it comes out really smooth. Cuddles, honey. You gotta chill, babe. It comes out really smooth just because it's such a great machine, frankly. Yes. And yes. I do that with especially patterns like Lanterns of Hope. That's what I did, Jenny, is I just alternate blocks so that I have kind of the speed of chain piecing, but I still get to press stuff and put it up on the design wall. Yep. Because then I feel like I'm making progress, and I like the feeling of making progress. Trying to decide what I'm doing. Think I'm gonna keep this super simple. Didn't figure out. Oh my gosh, that's so hard, Winifred. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see the perfect fit fabrics, Lydia. Yeah, so fortunately with both my boys, so part of the issue with Jim is like, I say we didn't know what was going on. I knew what was going on. But it took me a while for me to convince anyone. Because I was a first-time mom, right? And one of the kind of unfortunate things of the current way we do birth in the U.S. is that there's a little bit of doubt, especially of first-time moms, right? And it was, you know, it was not a super bad thing. Like, they're wanting to make sure that I'm putting in the effort to figure out the breastfeeding thing and not just jumping to, like, oh, something's wrong that a doctor has to fix. Like, I get that. But John has, present tense, has severe lip tie, or not lip tie, tongue tie. So that, like, literally this is how far his tongue goes out. Like, he has, like, a fish tongue. Like, that's him straining to stick his tongue out. It's a miracle that he doesn't have troubles with speech. he was bottle fed, probably because of an undiagnosed tongue tie. His mom had so much trouble nursing him, and she was able to nurse the others. But the undiagnosed tongue tie with him, I think, was a huge part of why he had to have supplementation, which is fine, right? It's not like there's something wrong with that. But her desire was to nurse, and we know from subsequent children that she was able to. But he had severe undiagnosed tongue tie, and by the time a dentist finally caught it, he was old enough that they were like, we're not touching it because it might cause you to develop trouble speaking. So he still has that. So I was aware of that, and I had severe lip tie. Like, had to have surgery in middle school because it was wrecking my teeth kind of severe because of the way it was tugging on my gums. So I knew our medical history, and I knew because I, again, nerdy human, had read The Womanly Art of Breastfeeding cover to cover. Literally cover to cover, and then some, and I was like, this is not what, like, this latch doesn't feel like it's working, right? Like, my kid is working way too hard, and I had no concerns about my supply, we'll put it that way. And so with Jim, it took until we went to see my pediatrician. So it was probably a week after he was born, because he was born on Christmas. That might have been after the 1st. So it probably was a week and a half before we went to see the pediatrician, who had been my pediatrician, who was aware of my medical history. And I was also bottle fed. That's part of why I had my frenulectomy super late for my lip tie, because I'm adopted. So I was bottle fed as well. So we had this kind of interesting situation with the way that John and I had been fed as infants that then had affected kind of our dental situation. But it took, until we went to see my pediatrician. And she believed me. She was like, if you think there's a problem, I will give you a referral. She's like, because I trust you. And so she gave me a referral to a fabulous ENT whom we love. But, it was 3 months until they had a open appointment. And so we had to figure it out for 3 months, which means, like, I nursed in the craziest positions to try to help him get what he needed. And nursing took forever. Like, it was so difficult. Just time consuming. But we managed. How did I get off? How did I get off on this? Hang on. Oh yes, figuring out. So all that to say, yeah, not figuring out ties until later is super common. Unfortunately, with Ian, we knew, and so I didn't even wait for a referral. I called the ENT the day we got home from the hospital. But yeah. Anyway. It's a challenge. The challenge is real. It's very real. And it is not easy to breastfeed in the US right now. There's a lot of work going on around that. But it is still something that we hit a lot of roadblocks. No, Lori, I'm not planning to homeschool the boys. So they will start at a little, like, Christian preschool in the fall, and they'll actually be at our local public school is our current plan. And I'm super pumped about it because I can literally walk them to school. And, like, half the teachers live in our neighborhood. It's going to be a great situation. They are too smart. The truth, I promise this is the truth. They're too smart for me to homeschool them. They need more stimulation than I will be able to give them at home as they get older. So they need to go out and be in a social environment. I don't know. That's our current plan for elementary school. That plan could change at any moment. It could change due to who knows what circumstances. But I think they need the, like, stimulation of being not with me all the time. They need to be out. They're so gregarious, so energetic. They will thrive in a classroom. Hey, Jenny! Yay, yay, yay! Hey, Ramona, welcome! Oh my gosh, second time viewing. So Rockstar Status is my most extensive free motion quilting class. And it's such a big deal that we celebrate graduation at the end for everyone who completes the curriculum, because it's intense and it's worthy of recognition. You earn your pin. It's a little bit like Scout badges, except, well, right now there's just one badge. Over time, hopefully there will be more badges, and then it really will be like earning Scout badges. Did I just give away my secret plan? I might have just given away my secret plan. Oh, thanks, Jan. I agree, Aurelia. It is so natural. And you know, I just like made up my mind before. Well, oh, okay. And again, full disclosure, a huge part of our motivation with me, like I had to breastfeed. We didn't have money for formula. Like, just full disclosure. Like, I had to do it. And I very much believed in my ability to do it. But that was a huge motivator to stick with it. And again, I was very fortunate that the concerns were not supply related. Right? It would have been a different story if I'd had concerns there. But because the concerns were just simply around biomechanics, you know, patience and creativity can overcome biomechanics. All right, speaking of filled swirls, for all of you rock stars that loathe them, I'm gonna quote one just for you, because I love me some filled swirls. Which, if you were here for the conversation earlier, I don't mean that as some secret anything. I really do love filled swirls, but mine don't have the aesthetic issues that can sometimes occur. At least I don't usually. Now I might have just jinxed it. I might have like big issues with this one now. I do think I'm gonna get a pleat. Oh y'all, it's gonna pleat. Please don't pleat. Alright. Hang on. We're gonna have to breathe some love into this one to not get a pleat. Come on, little quilt. Oh, we're getting a pleat. It's happening. It's happening. Oh gosh. Oh well. Like I said, this is a perfectly imperfect quilt, right guys? Well, it really wasn't that bad. Honestly, once it's washed, nobody will be able to tell. This is Rockstar Status Graduation and Free Motion Quilting, the Honesty Edition. Oh, I love that, Jan. That's what I was trying to do, Ruth. I love that you can see that from where you are. Yes, exactly, Aurelia. So basically the deal with our babies, because of where we were financially, hi sweet dragon, is I had to nurse them until they could eat while we ate. And they did, and it was fine. And they were great. But Cuddles is right here. Can you see her? She like has her face up in my neck. Oh, that's so hard, Dana Lou. I was really fortunate that in the kind of the need and the desire that I was able. Because sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Because it's hard. And yeah, it just doesn't always work. And it's heartbreaking, especially if it's something you really wanted to do. We cloth diapered as well for 2 years. We made it for 2 years, and then I threw in the towel, I admit, which I still have mixed emotions about, but yeah, it was time. All right, I'll show you guys my filled swirl when I break thread, but I'm not breaking thread yet, so. Hey Cheryl, were you here for graduation? You might have missed graduation, babe. Oh, Cuddles, honey. Hey, what you doing? Literally just hanging out in my hair. I guess it's warm under there. Ooh, no, no, no. Rack. Don't you love the sound effects? Those are included in this production. Just got on. Okay, Cheryl, you'll have to go back and see your graduation, dear. Because we did all that at the beginning. Oh, do I have to come up with more unique ideas? I probably do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 more petal ideas. Oh, guys. Who, guys? I think some spirals might be called for. Ooh, except these are wavy. We're gonna call them organic. Come on. Sue! Oh, good night, Sue. Have a great weekend, dear. Oh, yes, I do have a bearded dragon on my shoulder, Cheryl. You should probably be aware of that. I loved when Sue, was that you when I got on that you were like, is there an animal on your shoulder? Okay, so what I'm going to do now, in just the interest of comparison, good night, Tina! Oh my gosh, is it already 10? How is it already 10? I guess we started 30 minutes later than usual. Okay, I'm going to do this one because I want to show you guys the contrast. And then I guess it probably is just about bedtime, isn't it? Alright, so what I did on this other one is I simply freehanded the echoing of the shapes, right? And now on this one, I'm going to use a ruler. Now, my ruler work is imperfect, right? Because we're just getting started with this. But I think it'll still give you guys an idea of the cool thing that can happen with the ruler, right? In terms of the effect that is created. Now, if you do not have a ruler foot or do not have a ruler, you could do that, and you're on your domestic, you can do this with a walking foot, okay? So you could get the same kind of thing, like especially if you mark it and then just stitch right on the line. Now, these will not be identical because my spacing is a little bit different, but you guys will get the idea. Good night, Carol. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Almost got this where I can show you guys. But I just want you to see how much smoother it is with a ruler, even imperfect ruler work, right? Like, I need so much more practice. Like, it scares me how much more practice I need, because ruler work it's an acquired taste, I think. I know that it took me a while to acquire the taste on my long arm. Now, I will tell you, one tip I've learned already with the ruler is you're using two hands, right? The job of this hand, or you know, whatever hand is on the ruler, it has one job, and it is to apply pressure downward on the ruler to hold it in place. Use your other hand to move the quilt, okay? Because otherwise your ruler will end up sliding. And it's a subtle distinction, right? Because like both hands are moving, both hands are working. But the primary job of that ruler hand is to hold the ruler in place. So let the other hand do most of the moving. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, I gotta decide. I don't even remember where. I don't remember where I started this thread. So I'm just going to trace my way down to a corner. All right. Okay. Hey, Bev! Oh, Bev, we're just wrapping up. Bummer. How was work, though, darling? Oh, Cuddles is coming around to say hi. Hey, Bev, Cuddles wants to say hi to you. If I can get her in the... Hang on, here we go. Ready? Oh, no, maybe not. Well, you can see her back. Whatever, I'll show her to you in a minute. Okay, so what I was just doing here, guys. Here is the organic one, right, that I just did by hand. And it looks okay, right? I mean, it looks it looks fine, right? Like, I want to be careful about the words I use there, because if you're freehanding this, I don't want you to feel like, oh, it's only okay, right? Like, this is great. And it creates a very cool effect. And like where I wobbled up here, by the time this is washed, like nobody's going to be able to tell, right? But you can see the difference with the ruler work, imperfect as it is. I feel the need to put lots of disclaimers around this. Right? So the ruler work is crisper and straighter. The spacing's a little bit different. So, but the spacing is a little bit more even on the ruler work ones. Remember, this is ruler over here. Right? So just, you know, for the sake of illustration. And again, you could do this with your walking foot and a little bit of marking. Right? All right, I'm going to... Oh, I just knocked over a bunch of oils, guys. All with lids on. Fear not. All right, I'm going to... Bev has not seen Cuddles up close, so Cuddles and I are going to say goodnight. Come here, honey. Come here, come on. Come on. Here she is. Say hi, beautiful. You say hi? Oh, good night, Sue Marie. Congratulations, Rockstar. All right, let me push this down, and I will come around and actually say a proper good night with Cuddles the dragon. Hi, Cuddles. I'm going to turn my machine off so she is good and safe. All right, everyone, congratulations again to our Rockstar graduates. I'm so excited that all of you were able to be here tonight, and I'm so excited for those of you who graduated at the celebration of your hard work. You have done amazing, amazing things, and I'm so proud of all of you. Keep free motion quilting, keep practicing. Those of you who have not taken Rockstar status yet, I hope you'll join us for the next cohort, which is currently planned for the fall. And in the meanwhile, if you are inspired to work on your free motion quilting, I do have other quilting classes that are available on demand. There's intro to free motion quilting, beginner free motion quilting, and how to make a quilting plan. And those are all wonderful preparatory steps for Rockstar status, especially if you're brand new to free motion quilting and haven't spent a lot of time behind your machine. All of us in the Quilting Rockstars Facebook group are always happy to offer help if you get stuck, and it's a great community to be a part of. Y'all, you are fabulous, and I'm so delighted to be here with you each week. Thank you so much for joining me as we celebrate Rockstars. Congratulations for like the millionth time. You've earned your pens. Your pens will be on their way as soon as they are painted, and I can't wait to send them to you and see pictures of you with them, because that's a celebration in and of itself. All right, guys, have an absolutely fabulous evening, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah!